Okay, going live on YouTube here. The radio simulcast will be starting in just a minute. So you're seeing the behind the scenes. Well, actually, it might be more like 30 seconds or something like that. You'll hear that intro music popping in here from Psychic Talk. Do, do, do.
Your show will go live
There
in
it is.
5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Well, hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever and whenever you may be listening to us across the entire globe. This is Tarot Today, your Saturday show on the Psychic Talk Network. And we are live. As you can see, my co-host, Mary Brown, is not with us this week. She's going on a sabbatical. We don't know how long she's going to be on hiatus. It might be a month or two. I'm not sure. But you will be able to hear her on Sharona's show on I think it's the 24th. She's the guest on Sharona's show, December 24th. So Mary will be popping on. But in the meantime, I've got guest co-hosts. That's right. And today we got the fabulous Pamela Steele of, Steel Wizard fame. Hi, Pam. How you doing today?
Awesome, Dax, and it's good to see you.
It's great to have you here. Wow, you were just on as one of our guests, and this is so cool to have you as a co-host. Woo-hoo.
It's going to be fun.
Yes, yes. So call into the show, folks. You can dial in, and the number is 714-816-4628. As soon as you get through, it should prompt you, but if it doesn't, press 1 on your dial pad. What that does is it actually raises a hand. Yeah, it actually shows a hand next to your phone number. So we know you want to be live on air with us. Otherwise, we just assume you're listening to the show. And that's perfectly fine too. Maybe you can't, I don't know, maybe you can't get over to YouTube, or you don't have Wi-Fi, but you can dial into the show, 714-816-4628. But if you want to be live on air with us, press the number 1. You can chat with us about tarot and numerology and all the cool things that Pamela and I do, as well as you can ask for a mini reading as well. Give us a very specific question, or you can just say, pull a card for me. But also, if you're listening on Blog Talk, the Psychic Talk network over there, where it's radio, it's all audio, you can actually see Pamela and I video streaming on YouTube right now. And we're on the Tarot Today channel on YouTube. You can pop over there and you can get into the chat. And in the chat, I see Yellow in there. Hi, Yellow. So it's really quiet in the chat. I figure in, a few minutes, 5, 10, 15 minutes, everybody will realize we're live and people will start coming in. Usually Sharona's here and Jason and Charlotte and a whole bunch of our regulars pop in. But right now it's crickets in there. It's just Yellow. But we're glad Yellow is one of our regulars now and pops in. And you can ask questions right in the chat. So you can ask a question about, numerology and how that works, or tarot. I don't know. What else do we do? Hypnosis, NLP. I don't know what else you do, Pamela. But
Well, I'm a licensed massage therapist and a deck creator, and I'm also a practicing. Not, I don't have my license for it, but I've been herbs, crystals, things like that for over 50 years. So
awesome. So you
yeah,
can ask all about that stuff. I do
if
NLP,
you need
I
to,
do hypnosis,
yeah.
life coaching. Um, maybe you have a question about the law of attraction, how that works. I tie tarot into it, and we can talk about that if you want. But you can also just say, hey, pull a card for me, and we'll see what comes up. Or if you have a really, really specific question, type that in. Try to keep it to one sentence if possible. Doesn't have to be, but And so if you can't call into the show, we'd rather chat with you on the phone lines. But if you can't call in, hey, you can jump in the chat on YouTube, Tarot Today. Just pop in there, and we'll get to the questions in the order that they come in. Awesome. Hey, so what's new with you, Pam?
Oh, so nice of you to ask. I got a wonderful gift in the mail.
Oh,
It is. Okay. Our Mary was telling me about it, and then but this is something Sharona did. Sharona with her psychic talk radio. Okay. This is Sharona's new book. And it came to this, the whole concept. I'm just barely getting into it. I can't hardly wait, but I need time because you read a little bit of this thing and you want to digest it. She actually had a dream where she visited with Pamela Coleman Smith, and Pixie invited her to join her in kind of updating the concept, because this has been over 100 years, right? And what she's done is she's gone through the whole thing. Is it's phenomenal. Every color new, well, okay, it's got your keywords, it's got everything in it. It's unbelievable what has happened here. What really impressed me too was the way that she went through, and all of the cards. It's the standard Rider-Waite Smith deck, but they have been enhanced color wise. They have the card stock is phenomenal. I just, when I pulled them out, I started shuffling. It was like I'd had them for months. They're really super easy to work with, and it's all based it's called the Boho Pixie Tarot and the Little White Dog, and that's what she's focused on, is letting the dog be your guide and lead you through
oh
this
wow.
process. Phenomenal. And right now she
What's the
said she's
colors
looking
like?
for, they pop. They're amazing. I don't know if they'll show up on my camera or not, but when you look at the Six of Swords, look at the sky in the background.
Yeah,
Every figure, every
I see
detail
that.
has just, yeah. And like, look at the ladies. Well, I think it's a lady's cloak that's in the boat. Everything about this just rings and plays and carries on, and there's always something that you haven't seen before in these, and I highly recommend. I mean, how many decks are based on this protocol? There's three main protocols, we know that, the Rider-Waite Smith, the Toth, and the Marseille. Well, this is the most popular, we know that. But when you come to things like even the Devil card, like just the way that she's recolored it really brings your attention, and I'm noticing things. I am noticing a lot of things that I never noticed before. And I
Mhm.
used this deck to create another deck one time, which the Wizard's Pets. So I mean, but I was paying so close attention to detail, I didn't think I missed anything. Oh, I missed things. So this whole deck, she's looking for a publisher. So we're gonna have to do some magic and help her out on that. We need to get this deck
So
published and
what
the
would
book.
I can't think of the word. I'm trying to think of the color. What would you call those colors?
Boho, they're gypsy colors. This is
Hmm.
what the whole thing is about. Like,
It's like a
it's
pastel, right? Lots of
yes,
pastel.
yes. There's
Yeah,
lots of
that's the
pastel
word I
colors
was
in here,
looking for.
but they're there, and they enhance the heck out of the rest of the colors. They just make them pop. It's so well done. It's just, yeah, and it's easy to read.
Hmm.
I mean, it's the Rider-Waite Smith deck, and I
Are you going
learned
to
quite a
read
bit.
with those cards today?
I am. I
Oh,
am.
okay.
I usually read with the Steel Wizard, but today I really look at the backs. Aren't they adorable?
Mm-hmm.
It's dogs. It's a little white dogs. I don't know if you can see that. It's just adorable.
Yeah, I think
And
I recall she said that it was coded, the
it
back.
is. It
Yeah.
is. it's
Swooping
really
shot. They're like
like you're,
colors.
yeah, they're
Awesome.
wow. It, yes, because see what you're looking for in here,
Hmm.
the color coding. These ones are green, these ones are grayish.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So every little detail, everything has been enhanced, and I can't even say updated, just tweaked a bit. She
Right.
didn't change anything. She stuck to the truth here. And it's yeah, that's my say.
The
Rider
boho
Waite has
pixie
yeah.
rider wheat. Yes. Tarot deck.
Boho Pixie Tarot and the Little White Dog,
Yeah.
Sharona and Pamela Coleman Smith. I mean, it's both names right here on the cover too. So
When
wow.
when she was really, really early on with that deck and the book, she sent Mary and I copies, and we reviewed it for her to help her out with kind of copy reviewing.
Well, and there's little
So
things
I hope
she's
it gets
added.
printed soon. So we can get it out to everybody.
Yeah, like this card was in there. It's just an add-in. It's called a Magician's Cross spread, and on the
Right.
back, here's your color chart.
The color chart. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. And
and
the Magician's Cross is actually the cross of manifestation. I created that, and she learned that in my course.
good job,
And
Dax.
remember earlier we were talking about, if you have questions about the law of attraction, it's the
Mhm.
cross of manifestation that shows the 4 steps of manifestation. It's so synchronistic that you brought up, that there's that extra card in the deck that shows how to do the Magician's Cross. And I'm so honored that she actually, put one of my things in her deck in her book. I wanted to
It's
mention
really
real
nice.
quick that first of all, we got a lot more coming up. We're going to do the cards of the day, numerology of the day, and start taking phone calls. And I see a couple of people calling in now. If you want to be live on air, don't forget to put your hand up, press 1 on your dial pad, 714-816-4628. And we've got people popping into the chat here. I'm seeing, it's weird. I've got my own account open on YouTube, and I've got the studio, and I'm like seeing different things in the different it's very strange. But I see a bunch of people popping in. Pamela, we've got Charlotte. We mentioned earlier, where's Charlotte? There she is. Hi, Charlotte. And Charlotte says, I love that you're using Sharona's deck. And Nilda popped in, and she's got a question. Uh, Ishika said, hey, and hey, back to you. Welcome to the channel. Everybody's saying hello to each other now. It's going crazy in there. We got a question from Yellow, and I think, Nilda has a question too. So we'll be getting those in, and as well as taking the phone calls in just a second. But I wanted to mention it's December 9th. That's right. So that's the 9 energy. That's the end of the cycle. So this is a great time to literally and figuratively clean out your closets. What can you let go of? What's holding you back, or what's no longer serving you? This can be everything from literally things in your closet that you haven't touched or looked at for 6 months, a year, 6 years, you know, clean it out. But also, old thoughts and thought patterns that no longer serve you, beliefs that no longer
Yes.
serve you, people. Yes, there are relationships that are no longer serving you, or worse, they're holding you
Mhm.
back. And as hard as it is, sometimes you have to let go. So it's that 9 energy. But interestingly, after 9, it's the beginning of the new cycle, starting with 1, of course. It's a 1 through 9 cycle we keep going through. The entire date today, so that's December, so that's 12, plus the 9, plus the 2023, the world energy is 7. You get 10, which reduces to 1. So it's there's those big new beginnings. So it's endings and beginnings. And card of the day, on a 9 day, I get a 9 card. I love when the synchronicities happen. 9 of Swords. And this is like waking up in the middle of the night, just too many thoughts and ideas. Swords are thoughts and ideas, and that could be a hint from the tarot that this is what a lot of us need to let go of. We've got too many thoughts and ideas going on. And once we do that, when I was cutting the deck before I pulled the card of the day, I always pull also whatever card is at the bottom of the top half, because I put them on top of each other. And I call that cutting to the heart of the matter. And the heart of the matter is the world card. And I always think of the World Wide Web. I think of the internet, but just like everything opening up, the world, the universe opening up to you, it all has to do with, I think, stop overthinking, feel your way through, and also just get down to a single thought or idea that you can focus on for 2024. So we're coming up on 2024. This is a great time to let go and so forth. Did you pull any cards of the day, Pamela?
I did. And that's
Awesome.
before I remembered that I had Mary's deck sitting right here to use. So use the other one.
Sharona's deck.
I keep saying Mary. Why?
Because Mary Brown is like, we're
I'm sitting in her
Mary.
seat.
We're missing Mary. You're in her seat.
Well, yeah, I'm keeping it warm for her.
Mm.
So anyway, I used it, and yes, I'm going to be using Sharona's deck today to do the mini
Sharona.
reading one. Yeah. But in the meantime, I'd used the Steel Wizard, and the card I pulled, the first one to match with your 9, I pulled the Moon, which adds up to 9. Well, reduces to 9. And this is the one that always tells me what you're seeing is a reflection. Okay. So pay close attention. Whatever you're seeing around you is something that's being reflected back to you. Look deeper into the situation. Don't take it at surface value, because whatever you're thinking comes from something that you should really be paying attention to. Okay. And of course, being the major arcana card, we know big magic and all. And the other card that came up to match your world card, or to speak to your world card, I got the 3 of Swords. Now, we all know that the 3 of Swords is heartbreak and all this. But what we got to remember is, in order for it to be whole, in order to be fulfilled, a heart needs to break, but it needs to break open. If you look at the Asian tradition, say a priceless Ming vase is damaged, it's broken. When they repair it with gold. And that was something that I was taught. Whenever something's broken, repair it with gold.
Oh,
And
I've seen that. Yeah.
This is how I see the 3 of Swords. It's an opportunity to rebuild your heart chakra, your thoughts, because it's swords, etc., with gold. So let it break open, let it fall apart, because you're going to have all these pieces to play with. And when you're putting the puzzle back together, do it with intent and focus, just like Dax was saying, intent and focus. And I also drew the Ace of Swords this morning for my personal thing online. So
that's perfect. That's perfect. Yeah. I think it's called kintsugi. It literally means
something like that.
Gold seams. It means gold seams in Japanese. Yeah. Coolness.
Perfect.
All right. All righty. So let's look at before we jump to the phone calls, I want to give some time for some more people to get on. Dial in, folks. It's wide open. We've got area code 330 we're going to go to in just a second. So you're on deck, 330. Get ready. We're coming to you. But give us a call, 714-816-4628. But real quick, I want to jump in the chat here, and because I know Yellow had asked, oh, okay. So Yellow's just saying whatever the universe wants me to know. Okay, so let's see. Pull some cards here. Okay. All right. So, 10 of Wands, overburdened there. I don't know if you're feeling that way, but basically I think it's going in alignment with what I just said for the cards of the day. Unburden yourself, especially thought patterns, that. And then once you do that, 8 of Wands, 8 is abundance in numerology. And when the Eight of Wands shows up, things are happening quick. So there you go. I think that's the message for you, Yellow, is to unburden yourself with the overthinking of things and focus on one thing. And also, any baggage you can let go of. It's that 9 energy. All right. Pam, did you pull a card for Yellow?
I did. And I got the Lover's card, which
6.
it's a 6. And it also tells me that the choices you have presented to you and in regards to moving forward have to do with what you know to be sacred and what you know to be profane. This isn't about soulmates or anything else. This is about you. And it's about looking at something from your perspective now and the perspective of who you are becoming. So make sure that your choices are true to you now, so that as you evolve, and you will, and you are, you're going to be pulling in the energy of the King of Swords. What is with swords today? I mean, the King of Swords, which is going to allow you that clarity of thought and that precision that you need to make these informed decisions and to do it with great authority. Okay?
Oh, that's perfect, because I had the 9 of Swords card of the day talking about, having too many thoughts like that. And then, with the King of Swords, it's that one sword. So that one thought or idea, just like what I was saying. So we are definitely in synchronicity with this reading here. Charlotte in the chat said she was on the Blog Talk phone line and couldn't hear anything. I said, well, maybe call back in. Maybe it's just a bad line, something like that. Let's see what Charlotte is saying here. Okay. She's chatting. They're chatting amongst themselves in there. And I tried that Dax to check. It just bad connection. Yeah. Well, I hope you can get through. If not, if you want us to pull a card for you, just pop that in the chat. We'll pull a card for you. Nilda was next there, Pamela. Do you see my son-in-law finding a job soon? My daughter's expecting a little one. Thank you. Blessings to all. Yay. Well, happy holidays to all of you guys. Don't know when she's due there, but let's pull some cards here and see what we get. Hold on just a second. Give it a little more of a shuffle. You want to go first, Pam?
Sure. I got another major card. I got the Hanged Man, which means let it be. Stop fussing over it. Stop trying to push the river. It's going to happen. It's going to be fine, and it's going to be not too far in like down the road. But do keep that in mind, that it's what's really weird about this card is every time I pull this card, I hear the old Beatles song "Let It Be." Paul McCartney, I think, did that. And so that's the general overview of it. And then the second card I pulled, I love this one. You got the Ace of Cups, darling. So yeah, it's going to be a new beginning. I kind of think it's going to happen about the same time this baby's born, though, because it feels like a birth and a new life all starting at the same time. So hang in there. I don't think you've got many. As far as timing, cups, this is not in the right spread. Cups can indicate, usually they indicate spring, but since we're not looking for timing in this, it's going to be as soon as the heart is ready, the magic appears. Okay.
Awesome sauce. And what I'm getting yes. He's going, because I'm getting even numbered cards. And in my system, that's typically a big fat yes. And, I usually pull 5 cards and do my 5-card yes, no. But when I start getting yeses, I just stop. Sometimes it depends, especially if the message is really clear right away. And I think the message is really clear. I actually got 2 4s in a row. All right. So I got the 4 of Cups there, and I got 4 of Pentacles. So this is what I think is going on. I think it's a yes, he's going to find a job. In fact, I think there's already something there. He's just not aware of it. He's just not seeing that there is an opportunity right there. And by the way, you said there, there might be a little bit of a delay, maybe up to like, the birth and so forth like that. And it coincides. And that might be what the delay is, he's not happy with the opportunities, and there is this opportunity, but he's just not seeing it, and that's a typical thing with the Four of Cups. And then with the Four of Pentacles, tarot's multi-layered, and typically, or a lot of the times with the Four of let me see if I get this in view here. Okay, so a lot of times with the Four of Pentacles, that can be about your financial resources, financial windfalls. It can be, although that's typically the Six of Pentacles, but still with this card that can happen, and especially with investments coming through and things like that. So I feel that's a hint that it's going to happen. He's going to find the job, but beyond that, sometimes this card has the negative inference also that you're holding on too tight to something. And what I think is, in connection with this, Pam, see if this makes sense to you, is that there's this opportunity that he's not aware of yet, or is not considering, and it's because he's too attached, tightly holding on to, well, I've always worked in these kind of jobs. I've always found jobs by doing this. I always go on monsterjobs.com, or I always send out 100 resumes, or I do this, or I do that. You have a certain way, I find my jobs on LinkedIn. Okay, this is saying if you're doing that and you're not getting the job, what's the definition of insanity from Einstein? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. So try something new. Go on LinkedIn if you don't use LinkedIn. Go on monsterjobs.com if you don't use that platform. Whatever platforms or whatever ways you don't use, give it a shot, and also be open to using your same skill set, but maybe in something completely different that you don't normally do. So Nilda, you take that information. You can even replay this, because the replay will go up on YouTube, and replay this section for your son-in-law, and best of luck to him as well.
Dax, she's due in April, the fourth month.
Oh, in April. Okay, I don't think it's going to take
Fourth month.
that long.
I don't either, but that's the 4 in there.
I know, it's like double 4. The synchronicities that we get on those,
Boom.
All readers get those kind of synchronicities, but I think that we get this happening. And I know when I asked you to guest co-host, you brought that up about how you love the synchronicities and this getting the same or similar cards and information. And I think that the universe does this, the tarot does this to us on these shows, specifically because it just shows people, oh, this stuff works. I mean, if it was just coincidence, maybe once or twice, but like dozens of times in a single show, over thousands, we've done literally 2,000-3,000 shows over the last 13 years. We're in our 14th year of broadcasting, folks. And this has been nonstop since, 2020, 2010.
Yeah. 2010.
Yeah. 2010. And so our anniversary coming up, I don't know if that's ours. So it was January 2010. So January 20th, my mom's birthday in 2024, it'll be 14 years. Okay. And then we'll be going to our 15th year. Okay. Yeah. I wanted to make sure I always get that mixed up, like where, when the birth date comes up, where you actually are, So anyway, So I hope that helped you out. And we are going to go over to the phone lines and see. We still got that one caller in there. I don't know. There seems to be a problem. Hopefully they can hear us, right? Right, Pamela.
Right.
There seems to be a problem with Blog Talk. So this is what I'm going to say. We can spend extra time with you guys in chat if there's a problem with Blog Talk. Charlotte already asked her question in there. I think Spiritual Odyssey just came in. I think they have a question. Glad you put that in there. Pamela. Oh no, that's you.
Yeah, just me.
You popped in the chat. Okay, sorry. I thought, you know who I thought you were? Because it's Tarot by Pamela Steele. Sharona comes in and it says Tarot by Sharona. I am still waiting for Sharona to show up. She must be busy. Maybe she's Christmas shopping, something like that. Also, we're missing Jason. Jason's usually in here. God, there's some other people too, but I can't think of them off the top of my head. So, hey, everybody that's watching us on YouTube and you're in the chat, put a bunch of questions in there or ask us to pull a card because we might not be getting any phone calls except for our one phone call, Pamela. I don't know. Before we do this real quick, Pam, I wanted to make some quick announcements because it's the bottom of the hour mark. I'm looking at 12:30 here Mountain Time. Let me let you guys know what's going on because Tarot Today is the official broadcast of the Tarot Guild. In fact, when we created Tarot Today, the original idea 13 years ago was it was going to be and it is our live audio newsletter, because people were tired of newsletters at the time, and it was like everybody was going, no, don't do a text newsletter thing, do a radio show. So we were on radio until now we're on radio and YouTube. And we're like the live newsletter of the Tarot Guild. Also, what's coming up on the Psychic Talk network? I got to get used to not saying Psychic Talk Radio Network, Pam. Okay, so this is what's coming up. Well, first of all, I want to let you know that if you want to buy Pam and I a cup of coffee, you can. It's psychictalk.net/coffee. That'll take you right over there to our square, and you can just type in any amount, $5, $10, $15, $20, whatever you want to send us. And it's like our tip jar, and we will split it, So coffee, by the way, coffee's getting expensive. So I'm saying probably a minimum $10 if we're, for Pam and I to get a cup of coffee at Starbucks, right? Anyway, grab us a cup of coffee. Go over to psychictalk.net/coffee. Yes, yes. So here's some of the stuff we got going on. The holiday sale. That's right. We are into the holiday. By the way, everybody says holiday sale. I said holidays sale, Pam, because we got Christmas and Kwanzaa and Hanukkah and New Year's and all these holidays. So everybody else goes holiday sale. Now I'm calling it the holidays sale because there's so many. And we are actually continuing this really amazing 75% off our lifetime membership from Black Friday, which went into Cyber Monday. And we're going to continue it all through December into the new year. You know why? People are loving this, Pam. We've got a bunch of people that have joined as lifetime members because of this awesome deal. So normally it's $297. And let me tell you, that is a steal in itself because normally our annual membership is $47 annually. So you renew every year for $47. Well, this saves you thousands of dollars because you get a lifetime membership. You're one and done. You are not paying annually. We used to actually have monthly too. And I kind of say, well, the $47 a year is about less than a latte. It's $3.91 a month. But this way you're paid up for good. And you get all of our live Q&As, access to our live workshops, our panel discussions, everything like that we do every month, all throughout the year. And in addition to that, you get your certification free. So with the annual plan, you still have to pay for certification. It's 2 payments of 67 or 1 payment of 124. It's free with the lifetime membership. In addition, you get my course, Tarot by the Numbers, for free, which is a $297 course. Well, you won't pay $297. Nope, it's 75% off. You're going to save $219 because it's 78 bucks, folks. I kid you not. Go over to thetarotguild.com. You'll see the banner right there on the main page. Click on the banner, this big red banner, holidays sale, and grab it for 78 bucks for life. Can't get better than that, right, Pam?
Right. Hey, check the chat because Yellow was saying that the link for the coffee is the server cannot be located, and she wants to know if we take PayPal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, get with me and I'll send you a link for PayPal. We don't usually use PayPal because the processing's higher and everything like that. But this is something new I just set up, was the psychictalk.net/coffee thing. And maybe the link is, oh no, it's working perfectly. Hey, let me grab this link. Hold on for a second, and I'll continue with the announcements in just a second, folks, and then we'll get to the calls. The one call we have. Let me grab the link, and maybe this will help them in the chat because they can just click on it then. And here, let me test it again. I'm going to click on it right there in the chat. Yep, takes you right over. So it might have had something to do with who was it? Yellow. It might have had something to do with their connection or their browser. Maybe try a different browser, something like that. Okay, so let me get through the announcements. I'm going to speed this up a little bit. In addition to the 75% off our life membership, my readings are half price, save 50 bucks. It's normally $99.99, but during the holidays, guess what? $49.99. You can book a reading with me. We pop on Skype together. Typically we do a teleconference, but on Zoom or Skype, but doesn't have to be. It could be a call. I can even do Facebook video call or Facebook audio call. And I don't put a time limit on these things. It's 30 40 minutes. I figure that's usually enough time to get through all your questions. Plus I do your numerology. So when you sign up for this, and you'll find it on the same page, can't talk, the same page as the holidays sale, right, on the Tarot Guild website. Go over there, and when you sign up for it, just send me your birth date. If you want to send me your whole name that, from your birth certificate, I can do your full chart, but, just send me your birth date. I'll get your life path, your attitude number, and where you are in your personal year cycle. That's going to give us a lot of information to start off the session. And it's life coaching, numerology, and tarot, of course. I did want to mention that Maria G. Moss, I've been guest co-hosting her show, The Angelic View, every other Sunday. And she has a holiday sale going on right now for her certified angel practitioner course. She launched this course in 2015. It was $497. And then after that first year or two, it was $297, like my course, for years and years. Recently she's been she's like redoing the course. So the old recording of the course, she dropped it to $97. Well, for the holidays, it's just 44 bucks. I mean, you can't beat it, right? Go over to mariagmoss.com or angelpractitioners.com. And then speaking of Sharona, she's never done this before, but she's putting her angel Reiki practitioner course. This is to get certified as an angel Reiki practitioner. So you get your normal certification. Oh God, what's it called again? Pamela, maybe you know the Asui is the name of the original, you get
I don't remember.
you get your Reiki certificates, but you also get your Angel Reiki practitioner certificates as well. Just go over to psychetalk.net/angel Reiki. And it's only $67. This is another course that
Wow.
was a lot more, was a lot. Oh my God, you're saving so much. $67. It's unbelievable. So go over and check that out at psychetalk.net/angel Reiki. As I mentioned before, our fabulous Mary Brown is on sabbatical. She's going to be away on hiatus for maybe a couple of months. We're not entirely sure. She's getting ready for 2024. She's doing a lot of different things. And, she's going to be popping in here and there. Like I said, she'll be on with Sharona on the 24th. So if you're missing Mary, tune in on Sunday, the 24th. And you'll get to and it's Christmas Eve, spend it with Sharona and Mary, but she'll be back eventually. But I just wanted to let everybody know what's going on. And by the way, the fabulous Ellie the Moonchild, who's been a guest on the show, she's been a guest co-host. She's on our Tarot Guild staff now. Ellie is going to be guest co-hosting next week, the 16th and the 30th. And Pamela, by the way, will be back on, when is it? The 23rd, Pam, right?
23rd. Yep.
23rd. Awesome sauce. Speaking of Sharona and Magic Universe, this is tomorrow, December 10th. Oh my God, you got to tune in for this. Remember, it's radio, but we will be simulcast. They won't be on camera, unfortunately. I wish they were, but we'll have a banner up there with a video running in the background and everything. It'll actually look like this. There you go. I can give you a preview. Okay. It'll look like this, but you'll be getting the audio, but you'll be able to join us here on YouTube in the chat for this. And it's the Enchanted World of Amy Zerner and Monty Farber. And oh my God, Amy and Monty, if you don't know who they are, what rock have you been under? The last 30 years. They are fantastic. I have so many of their books and decks and spirit boards and all kinds of stuff that they did. You got to tune in. This is going to be one of the best interviews that, by the way, Sharona's doing some fantastic interviews, folks. But, this is going to be one of the best. One of the best. And then the fabulous angelic channel and healer, Catherine Hahn. A lot of people say they love her Friday show. It's every Friday, Compassionate Light Radio. She does this, Pamela, she does this meditation live on air. I know Charlotte will say something about it in chat because Charlotte's gone to several of them and just loves it. Well, she's doing this whole thing all December on community. And next Friday, the 15th, it's going to be being there and taking action for your community. That's what's coming up. Oops. And last but not least, I will be back guest co-hosting with Maria Gimas on the Angelic View on the third Sunday, which is the 17th. That's right. And we'll be talking about some cool stuff. Like, for instance, we will be talking about personal year numbers, the new year coming up, 2024. That's 2024. 2 and 2 is 4, 4 and 4. That's structure 4, 4 and 4, 8. So it's a year of abundance. Just like these 4 and 4, that's another reason probably those cards came up. And I love this part of the year, actually the end of the year and the beginning of the year, because I try to do shows coming up on the end of the year, Pam, and then the beginning of the year where we talk about the personal year number, the world year number, your personal year number, where you are, but also the world year, and then how that interacts and everything like that. And so what is that, next Sunday, or even when I'm with Ellie next week, if anybody wants their personal year number, and I'll talk about that. And also, I'm thinking of taking one of the cheat sheets from my course that gives you all the info on the individual personal year numbers 1 through 9. I'm going to give that away free on some of the radio shows here towards the end of the month here and give everybody that. Okay, let's see. Go back to the phone lines. Oh, we lost our caller. Oh my God, there must be something seriously going wrong with Blog Talk, because we usually have a ton of calls right about now. Yeah, this is just very strange. I don't
It
know.
is.
I don't know what's going on. Um, let me
Oops.
try reactivating our microphone. Maybe there was something wrong with our line. Luckily, I'm recording all this so I can upload this audio later. Hey, Charlotte, anybody wants to call in, go ahead and call back in, because I think it was a problem with our microphone. I bet that was what the problem was, Pam.
Could be very easily.
Yep.
Mercury is in retrograde.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Having our technical problems here. So I'm going to see what's going on in the chat, and we'll, do a couple of questions, and then, hey, we'll get out of here. But meanwhile, if anybody wants to call in, while we're still live on air, in fact, Charlotte, why don't you call in and just see if that problem is fixed for us so we know? Maybe she'll do that for us there, Pamela. Gonna go back to, let's see, there was Yellow, then Nilda. Who was next? I know there was another question in there. I think it was Spiritual Odyssey. Have a great question.
Yes.
Are we safe under a tornado watch in Tennessee? Will any twisters come close to us? Okay, well, we're gonna look at it, but I don't typically like doing that kind of prediction. It's just like medical questions, you know. I mean, I'm not a certified. What would that be? Tornado watcher,
Storm chaser.
storm chaser, or what's the meteorologist? I'm not a meteorologist. Just like if it's a medical question, I'm not a doctor. I can't make diagnoses. It's not legal as well as ethical. So it's not ethical for me to say, oh no, you're not going to have any twisters, but then it hits. But we can kind of skirt around the issue. And
Wow. Well, I got a solid yes, you're going to be safe.
oh, good.
The Ace of Cups came back.
Okay.
What is haunting me today? And I got Temperance, which is inner and outer life balance, the harmony. So stay calm, stay cool. You got this.
Okay. So I got the Eight of Wands. Again,
Yeah.
even though I swear I shuffled, you saw me shuffling. I put it all back in the deck. 8 is abundance. That's next year's energy, but 8 is abundance, and this is things happening quickly. And 8 is also even. It's a, yes, you're going to be safe. And I think it's going to quickly pass. I think that's the main message here. It's going to quickly pass. Okay. Oh, some people are calling back. Let's see if they can hear us. Okay. Let's see who's been waiting the longest, and then we'll come back to the chat here. 801. 801. Is that you, Charlotte?
Yep,
Can you hear us?
it's me. It's me, Mario.
Yay. Awesome sauce. Okay. So whatever technical issue seems to have taken care of itself, or we fixed it or whatever in the background. So we're doing good. Yay. Yay. What was
Yeah,
that?
I just have to say that was a really odd throwback for me to say that.
What's that?
It's me, Mario.
Mhm.
From Mario
Mhm.
Brothers.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever played the game, which I haven't done for years, so why it popped out this morning, I have no idea.
So your question, Charlotte, in the chat, do you want to have the same question? Some cards pulled on how the rest of this month looks in general. Is that your question?
Yeah, because I want to know in like so many different areas that I'm like better to go with in general than like, because I'm like, yeah, I want to know finances. I want to know, mood. I want to know. I want to know everything. Car trouble. So I went with in general instead of,
Hold on just a second here. I'm typing in that that PayPal. It's actually paypal.me/Dax Carlisle, my personal one, if you want to use that instead. But I believe the Psychic Talk, the
I
Psychic
think
Talk.net.
Yellow typed in that your link was working.
Yeah.
Oh, it's working again. Okay, good. So Psychic Talk.
Yellow typed in there that it was working.
PsychicTalk.net/coffee people. Okay, so Pam, you want to pull cards first for
Sure.
Charlotte?
Actually, I already did.
Oh, go ahead.
First card I got the Four of Swords, which means take a break, don't stress over anything because it's working itself out. And again, as typical with words, don't words. Noodles. I get the teeth next week too. Anyway, what it really means is take a break from overthinking it because you're really overthinking it. And the second card I pulled was the Two of Cups. It's about communication, and not just communication with others, but communication with your own inner divinity. So what are you programming into yourself? What are you telling yourself on a moment-to-moment, day-to-day basis? I can't because, or are you shooting yourself in the foot, or are you honestly opening the channels so that you can converse with your ultimate divinity? Okay. So in other words, take a break, talk to you, go ahead and talk to yourself. That's the only way you're going to get the right answers. And the final card I got was Judgment. Okay. Which means this is going to be an awakening and a renewal time for you. It's time for you to really begin to reconstruct yourself from the inside out on a cellular level, down to your basic DNA. Okay. You can add strands to your DNA at this time. So be prepared and take your time. There's no rush, and stop fussing. That makes it worse. What you resist, persist kind of thing. Make sure you're not shooting yourself in the foot.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks,
It's very interesting, Pam, because I got overthinking it cards as well. I swear I shuffled, but Four of Pentacles had to pop back up again. I think it's saying money's going to be a little tight. It's which no one wants during the holidays. I also think that it's the same message that we were getting earlier. Holding on too tight to something, and it's probably the way things are supposed to be, something along that lines. And then similar to what you got, Pam.
Yeah.
Eight of Swords. And this is Charlotte most of the year, but trapped by our own thoughts and ideas. But remember, it is an 8 card, so again, abundance is within grasp. It's what Pamela was saying about overthinking it. If you can stop overthinking it, then you can get in a solid place, which I'm getting as the Queen of Wands, asserting your independence, following what you're passionate about. As you go through the holiday seasons, holiday get-togethers, I don't know if you're gonna meet with family, friends, or whatever else, and then there's New Year's and what happens with going into the new year and everything like that. Don't be swayed by what people say or what they want you to do. You should do what you want to do. That's the message coming through. How's that, Pam?
Interesting.
I mean,
Charlotte.
We're having trouble with names
I
today.
think it's
We need name tags.
spot on as usual. I don't know how many consecutive readings I've had now that have said quit overthinking. And I'm like,
you should have kept the
I wish
journal
it
and
was
wrote
so
down
easy.
every single card we ever gave you over the last, 8 years.
I know, and I know it would be insane, but I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to quit overthinking. That's
Yes,
always
you
been
do.
who I am, and
That's
don't know
how you're
to stop
shooting
it.
yourself in the foot. You're shooting yourself in the foot by saying, I can't, because those words were not allowed my children to say. And to this day, they're in their 50s and they're still not allowed to say it. You can and you will. There is no can't. Okay. So stop shooting yourself in the foot. Of course
Yeah,
you
I just
can.
figure out how.
Just do
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
Just do it. Pay attention to your thoughts. Pay close attention. And anytime you feel yourself programming in that, well, I can't because blah, 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 stop and say, okay, that didn't work for me. And like Dex said earlier, the height of, come on, like you keep repeating and it's still not working. So break the pattern, break the cycle. And that's what judgment's all about, is breaking those cycles.
Yeah.
Hon,
All right.
we love you.
Thanks for
You know
the call,
that.
Charlotte. We love you.
I love you the most, as
The mostest. Enjoy the rest of your weekend there. We'll be going to 330 in just a sec. I wanted to mention to the folks in chat, Pam, that we will be getting to. There is a question from Leslie Bell. He's asking about a performance evaluation. Got some interesting questions in here about numerology and how that works with your birth certificate name and stuff like that.
Yes.
Spiritual Odyssey also mentions Supercell is getting closer. Gotta go. Keep track of it. Just in case. Thanks so much. Love and hugs all. Well, hopefully Spiritual Odyssey will be back on our next show and we'll know that they're safe. But if you're still around, blessings, Spiritual Odyssey, and I'll be answering your question. If you have to leave and you want to play the replay, I'll be answering your question about the numerology thing stuff. But first of all, let's go to this call. Area code 330. Caller, what's your name? Where are you calling from?
Leslie from Mississippi.
Oh, it is Leslie. Okay, hi.
Awesome.
I didn't expect you.
Yeah, because when I called in, I couldn't hear anything on my end, so I was listening to it on my watching it on my phone.
Yep, there was some kind of audio snafu, but it's fixed now, Leslie. And so your question in the chat was something about a performance evaluation at your job coming up next week, something like that.
Yeah, but I'm not fretting over it. It's just doing what I'm doing and how to improve on what's needed to be more successful.
Okay. Pam, I'm going to do some shuffling. If you pull cards, go right ahead, because
I did. And
getting
I
the same cards, even though I swear I'm shuffling like crazy here. But
I've been I shuffle constantly in between these. So yeah. And I finally got a different one. The first card I pulled for you, Leslie, is the Knight of Pentacles, slow, steady steps. Okay. One, no rush. Everything's fine. Prosperity is in your hands. If you look at this knight, like he's got this. Okay. So all you got to do is keep doing what you're doing. Everything is fine. Okay. Baby steps. Never jump, never leap, never deviate. You got this. Okay. And the other card I got for you, and I really like this, you also got the Death card, which is a big transformation coming. That's going to be a very positive effect on your life. So whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Stay the course, as it were. because this is a big one, and it's going to really help you in the long run. All right. You're right not to worry, because everything's in place. You've done what you needed to do. You gave it your best shot, and you're doing fine. You're doing great, in other words. Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, because there's always a possibility I could get promoted sometime in the next few months, or
Well, I got
with
some
a salary bump.
information. Leslie, I got some information for you. I'm glad you said that, because I was seeing something coming up in the cards and I was like, oh my gosh, I wonder what that means. And then you mentioned that and I'm like, oh, that's what it is. Okay, makes perfect sense. First of all, real quick, I cut to the heart of the matter in the deck there, and I got the wish come true card, the 9 of Cups. Yes. So, as far as evaluation go, nothing to sweat at all there. Yes, really, really good. However, in the future, a new opportunity, Ace of Wands. Yes, a new opportunity, a new position coming up to you, and getting the 3 of Pentacles. That is working with other people on a project of some sort. And then the only warning card I got was the Devil card. The Devil card. Don't be too attached to previous things, baggage. Don't be attached to it has to happen. The promotion has to happen a certain way in a certain time frame, or it has to happen a certain
Outcomes.
Like don't over expect certain things, like, well, it always happens this way. It's like you got to be open to the universe bringing this to you in its own time and the right way. And I do feel it's not that far off, because the Ace of Wands actually was also the timing card. So that is multi-layered. That can mean a couple of things. The beginning of the year, because it's the 1 energy. Also 1 month as far as a time period goes. So it could be as quick as a month. So 4 weeks from now, which also takes us into the new year anyway. But, so the first month of the year, January. So yeah, look for it, sooner than later, Leslie, after this evaluation. I think it's going to be great. But I'm glad you called back in.
Yeah, because things are looking up for me, and I'm looking towards a great 2024, and
yay!
And then the current job I had is going to lead me into into another position with a much bigger salary, of more responsibility, and possibly going into a doctoral program.
Awesome. That sounds great. You're going to have to call us back and let us know what happens. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, Leslie. We got to run here, coming up on the end of the show. We're going to go over a little bit, Pam. I hope that's okay.
That's fine.
Let's see what other things were going on in the chat room. So we don't have to answer Leslie's question because he called in. Yay. I'm so glad that whatever that problem was with Blog Talk, it got taken care of. And I'm trying to see. Oh, okay. Yellow says that it did work. I finally found that in here, that the psychictalk.net/coffee, that link works if you want to send us a coffee, me and Pamela, or a tip or something. I was successful on the link that was on the live chat. Okay, we do have a live chat page for these shows on thetarotguild.com/live, and it's the same link, but it's the same link actually. Let's see. So sorry folks, I'm just trying to get through reading all this to figure out what the questions are and stuff. Spiritual Odyssey's question about numerology. What happens if you change your name from your birth certificate? What name do you use? The reason I changed my name was also profound. Sometimes it is profound, sometimes it's not so profound. What was Elton John's name? Reginald, can't remember the whole thing.
John Wayne, Marion something.
Yeah, his name's Marion, but Elton John was like Dwight. God, I hate that when I can't think of it. So we're just gonna look it up real quick here. I don't think I was. Okay, because I want to give you an example how the energy changes. Okay, that is not Wikipedia. We want Wikipedia. Reginald Kenneth Dwight. I had them right. I think I had the names in the wrong order there. Yes. And now he's Sir Elton Hercules John. Elton John, changed his name, John Wayne, everybody, performers just, do that. And it changes the energy. That's what happens in numerology. So it's kind of a little complicated, but just, to make it simplified is we always start with your birth certificate name, regardless if you change your name. Remember, a lot of people get married and change their name. They hyphenate their name. They take on someone else's name. They completely change it because they just really hate their name, or because they want it to represent something else, or they have a stage name that they're known as mostly, So what happens is whatever name people commonly know you by is your power name. That's one of the 9 numbers in your chart. But we still look at your birth certificate name. You cannot get away from that, just like you can't change the date you were born on, right? So your life path, your attitude number, and what year you're in your personal year cycle all comes from your birth date. The rest of the chart comes from your name, and we're looking at the consonants in your birth certificate name, exactly how it appeared when you were born. And we're looking at the consonants. That's going to give us your personality. And we're going to look at your vowels in your name from your birth certificate. That's going to give us your soul urge number, which is, personality is what we see more, and the soul urge is, a lot of times we don't see that. That's a little behind the scenes. And then the whole name with the consonants and the vowels added and reduced to a single digit gives us your destiny number. Now, when you change your name, it becomes your power name. Now, this is not necessarily something that happens on purpose. Like, for instance, your name is Jonathan Wald Smith or something like that, and they call you Johnny Smith. Well, Johnny Smith has a different energy than Jonathan Wald Smith. All right. But most people know you as Johnny Smith, Johnny. So, nicknames, shortened names, common names, those are your power name numbers. And most people don't do this on purpose. People get married and they change their name. Generally, all of us use a shortened name, or we have a nickname that people know us by. Okay. And so that's just an additional energy. All right. But you can on purpose change your energy. On purpose, you can change it. And that's when you specifically change your name on purpose, like Elton John did, for instance. And we can't change the other things, but this is the one thing we have the power to alter and change with the energy. There's another example of this with numerology is a location has numbers. Okay, so like the street and the house number or apartment number or so forth, that has energy to it when you reduce it to a single digit. Now, the energy you got may not be the energy you want, but you can't help it. It's like, this is where you live, right? Unless you purposely, and by the way, people do this. They contact numerologists and say, hey, if I move to 615 Preston Lane, what's the energy going to be? You know, same thing with folks that are expecting, go to numerologists asking about names. You know, what should we name our kid? You know, because they want a certain kind of energy to it. So, like, let's say your house number reduces to 5, but you want the abundance number. 5 is change, sometimes chaos. Maybe you're having issues, and maybe you want to bring more abundance in, which is 8. Well, the difference between 8 and 5 is 3. So what you would do is take a piece of paper, write 3, put it on the wall near the front door on the inside to change the energy. In a similar way with our own person, with our personal 9-number numerology chart, the only thing we really can affect is that power name number. So you can change your name to change the energy involved. And what people call you is extremely important. And so that's why it's so powerful. If you change your name and you get the energy that you want, it overrides a lot of the other things going on, which we don't have control over, like our attitude number and our life path number. Now, we do have some control. In fact, it's usually the opposite of control, Pamela. Like, a lot of times I'll tell people what their life path is and what that means. And they will say, oh, I'm nothing like that. In fact, I'm 180 degrees different from that. Well, yeah, you're paddling upstream. It's not that your life path number is not telling you what path you're going to take. It's telling you that there, is certain predilections, or I'm trying to think of the right verbiage for it. There are certain possibilities. If you go down, you're going to be paddling downstream. In fact, you're not going to have to paddle. It's going to be, the current's going to take you if you go in that direction. Now, sometimes people buck the energy and they go the opposite direction. And a lot of times that has to do with other numbers in the chart, like your attitude number could be completely toxic, a challenge number to your life path number. And so you're torn in different directions, things like that. And then what we do is in addition to that, we look at the numbers in another person's chart versus yours to see what's compatible and what's a challenge. And that helps with relationships. So we can do relationship evaluations, where we're doing an analysis on both charts and the interaction between, so between charts and within charts, we can look at the dynamic between you and your boss, you and your coworkers. We can look at the dynamic between you and your parents, you and your children, you and your spouse, boyfriend, significant other, friends, anything. That's how powerful numerology is. And then when you combine it with tarot, it's perfect. Most of the time I do someone's numerology chart before I sit down live with them to do the reading. And I'll send them, Pamela, what I'll do is I'll send them their numerology chart in an email right before the reading, and they can look through it. And it answers a lot of their questions before we even get to the tarot, or it changes their questions. And then we start pulling cards. So I hope that answered your question, Spiritual Odyssey, and everybody else that was wondering about that. Another question I get all the time that I thought I'd throw out there that's kind of similar. And it's a lot of confusion around it. In fact, numerologists mess this up. People always wonder, well, my personal year number, is it running from my birth date to my birth date? Or is it the year that we're in? Well, it's the year you're in, not birth date to birth date like people think it is. A lot of people, a lot of really good numerologists get this wrong. And the way to explain it is that and by the way, like I said, we were going to talk about personal year numbers. And I'll repeat all this next week for everybody, but as it's coming up now, might as well say it now. your attitude number, which is your birth month and year, added together and reduced to a single digit, plus the current year number, which is still 2023, it's still that 7 energy. So we add that to your attitude and reduce to a single digit to get your personal year number. Where are you in the cycle? Okay. So I'm going to do an example. So I'm born in June and the 16th day in June. So that's 22, the master building number. 2 plus 2 is 4. And then if I add 4, I'm actually doing the calculator here. 4 plus the 7 universal or world year number that 2023 is, I get 11. So I'm in a 2 year, and next year I'll be in a 3 year. But right now I'm let me see if I'm doing this right. I'm gonna do it a different way. Oops. I'm going to calculate it. And it's good to do this. It's good to add the numbers up and re-add them and add them across a few different ways. Pamela's nodding her head. She knows. It's like, this is the way you're actually supposed to do it. So yeah, I keep getting, so 11. So I'm actually in a master illuminator year. It's not just the 2 energy, which is relationships. I'm in this master illuminator year right now. And then I go into a 3, which is creativity and communication next year. Now, what did I do to get that personal year number? I added the current year with my attitude number. Very simple. Another way of thinking of it is you put your month, like I put 6, 16, 2023, and just add the numbers across and reduce to a single digit. I'm using the current year energy to calculate where I am in that personal year chart or personal year cycle, 1 through 9. If it was the way people think it is, birthday to birthday, you'd cross over from 2023 into the next year, 2024, to, for me, it would be till June. The reason why that's not the correct way to do it is because you're using the current year energy. Okay. And the current year runs from January 1 to December 31st. It's this year. So regardless if you are born on June 16th like me, or January 19th, or December 22nd, it doesn't matter where in the year you are born. You're using the current year's world year number, or sometimes it's called universal year number, and adding that to your attitude number, your month and birthday, to get this 9-year cycle energy. And it flows from the whole year. So even though we haven't reached your birthday yet within the year, it doesn't matter. What we're asking is, what is the energy the whole year long? Does that make sense, Pamela?
Yes, very much so. Thank you. I was one of those curious about that. So thank you. Because I'm a whole bunch of 7s.
Yes. And it's interesting. If you just think of it logically, it makes sense then.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
It
and
does.
people want it to go from your birthday to your birthday. And if that would, but, and hey, maybe that could have been true, but it would have had been calculated in a different way.
Yes.
You know, why am I using 2023 added with my attitude number for my personal year this year, and then next year I'm using 2024? Why would the 20, why would the new energy not change till June the next year? That makes no sense. You know, this isn't rocket science. It's very, very simple, but people twist this up and they get very, very confused with that, you know. So I'm going to bring this up on the show next week. And then also I'm going to be on with Maria, and I'm going to regurgitate it again on her shows, because, you know, different audiences on different shows. I want to make sure everybody gets this stuff, and, you know, why your personal year goes January to beginning of January to the end of December, and how to calculate it and all that cool stuff. By the way, did you notice any more questions in the chat there?
I haven't seen any more, because
Good.
the only one we had left was, well, Leslie called in. So
Yep. Okay.
unless we have anybody on the line, because I think we covered it all.
Yeah. Oh, just a couple comments, and then we're going to end the show here. I wanted to mention that Charlotte said Cary Grant was Archie Leach.
Yes.
There's another one of those power names, you know. And by the way, you know, I've done a lot of this, obviously, and I've honestly never seen the changing the energy like that result in something negative. Every time someone, you know, in my experience, every time someone has changed their name on purpose to a new name, a power name number, it's always been an improvement in the energy. I always thought that was fascinating. Of course, there are no bad numbers, you know, but maybe not the energy they were looking for when they changed the name. And of course, you know, a lot of people, they don't know this is even happening. You know, your name gets shortened to Johnny Smith. You get married and your last name changes, or you hyphenate or something like that. You're not thinking about the numerology. Oh, by the way, whether or not you should hyphenate is a good question for a numerologist, because they can tell you what the two different energies are, because they will be different. And then there was another comment from la 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 la. There was another comment back here that was kind of cool that I wanted to mention, but I may never find it. Oh, it was Yellow way back. And Yellow, you know, remember we did the thing for Yellow, the reading?
Yes.
And Yellow said, "Thank you for the last few weeks. I have been purging most of my possessions as well as thoughts." Exactly what we were talking about, right? About that 9 energy. And she says, Pamela, wow, Pamela Steele, both of you scored 100 out of 10.
There you go.
Wow.
Excellent. That's
That
a pretty
was
good score.
So I just had to mention that, you know, really great comment. So we are at the end of the show. No more phone calls. I will see you. This was fun, Pam. I love doing this. I will see you
2
on the
weeks.
16th.
23rd.
Oh, I'm sorry. 23rd. Oh my God.
Yep.
Too many
Yeah.
names and dates and things like that.
Yeah. Well,
Ellie's
Ellie and I are switching. You know, like she's taken one and I'm then, because I actually am scheduled to work every second weekend, and I could rearrange that. That's what I said.
but this works better.
But this works perfect, because then I can come and listen.
Yeah. It's so much fun. Okay, goodbye, everybody. I will be back. You know, don't forget to tune in for Charlotte, not Charlotte. God, I'm just having a bad time with
Sharona?
names. I'm having such bad time with names.
Me too. Sharona.
You
Are
were
you
calling
thinking
Sharona Mary earlier.
Yes.
Yes.
Just
Sharona's show tomorrow, because Monty and who's going to be on?
Amy.
Amy and Monty.
Amy and Monty. Yep.
Yeah, so you got to tune in for tomorrow's show. Also, Friday with Compassionate Light, Catherine's show, and then I'll be back with Ellie on Saturday, and then I'll be with guest co-hosting on the Angelic View with Maria on the following Sunday. Okay, so bye everybody for now. Had a great time.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
Goodbye. Ha ha ha.